Hello, and welcome back to Top 10 Trends. School! Kids hate it, and for good reason. It's dumb and inefficient, and you hardly actually learn anything. But more important than that, it's boring! And how does it help you become a YouTuber? It doesn't. So why do you need it when it would only prepare you for an inferior job? And prepare you poorly, too! Maybe being suspended isn't so bad. These are 10 kids who got suspended for incredibly dumb reasons. Number 10. Kissing a girl. You know that thing your dad does with other men? Well, that's what this kid did with a girl. For a 6-year-old kid in Colorado Springs, Colorado, kissing a girl didn't just get him in trouble, it got him charged with sexual harassment. Because that's the America we live in. He didn't even kiss her in a bad way. He kissed her on the hand. Like a gentleman! Like a gentleman! Now, the kid's had problems in school before. He's been suspended for roughhousing or for kissing the same girl on the cheek. So he's probably just a sexual deviant. We should ban him from school outright, right? Wrong. It's a kid. I mean, yeah, I don't know the specifics of the circumstance, but roughhousing? It doesn't sound like he actually hurt anyone. And you know what? You want to suspend the kid for kissing a girl on the cheek? You're a piece of shit, but whatever, it's your school. At least it's not permanent damage. But sexual harassment at 6 years old? Do you realize how bad you're screwing up that kid's life? He's gonna be on the sex offenders registry at 6 years old. That's like charging victims of pedophilia with sex offense. You fucking morons. You can't get that off of your record. Once it's on there, maybe when he turns 18, a judge would look at it and say, oh, well, this is retarded, and get rid of it. But more likely than not, he's gonna be a sex offender for the rest of his life. Luckily, obviously, those charges didn't stick. What's even more ridiculous is that the boy and girl consider themselves boyfriend and girlfriend. There are some morons who voice support for the school's actions, saying that if it was their child, the parents would be having a talk because the kid shouldn't go around kissing other kids. I hope your kid gets run over if you're gonna charge someone else's kid who's 6 years old with sexual harassment for kissing your daughter on the hand. I hope you watch your child die. Number 9, chewing a Pop-Tart into a gun shape. You heard that correctly. A child was suspended for chewing a Pop-Tart into a gun shape. An 8-year-old Maryland boy got a standing ovation and a lifetime membership to the NRA because his stupid school suspended him for chewing a Pop-Tart into the shape of a gun. Now, if the kid had perhaps chewed it into the shape of a gun, that's the stupidest thing I've had to say, by the way, but if the kid had perhaps chewed it into the shape of a gun, picked it up and pretended to shoot people with it or something, I could maybe see a stern talking to, a detention, bringing it up to the parents. But he chews a Pop-Tart into the shape of a gun, and then get this, he didn't even mean to. He was trying to chew it into the shape of a mountain he drew earlier, which was confirmed by the parents and the principal of the school, who saw the picture of the mountain and then saw the picture of the Pop-Tart gun and said, oh, this actually kind of looks like the mountain he was trying to chew earlier. And then oh, God. And of course, the NRA is going to capitalize on a kid getting punished because they're just as much glory hawks as the other side who's trying to get all these kids suspended. I wish I had the artistic talent to chew a Pop-Tart into a gun shape. Maybe then I wouldn't be stuck making list videos. Number 8, wearing a My Little Pony backpack. This one I agree with. This kid's going to be a mental nightmare for the other students and should be as far away from regular human society as possible. It's a joke, get over it. The school suspended the child for wearing a My Little Pony backpack. The mom was actually worried the kid would get bullied, so she went to the school counselor and talked to the counselor and said, hey, what can we do to prevent my son from getting bullied? He really likes this show. He really wants to wear this backpack. How can we make sure he can do both of those things? How can we make sure he's happy and wearing the backpack? And the school counselor took a second and they thought and they said, oh, easy, your child's suspended. Now they can wear the backpack wherever the hell they want and they won't have to come to school and get bullied. Genius move on the counselor's part. So the kid wears the backpack to school and gets suspended because he's not allowed to wear the backpack anymore. That was the counselor's idea of a solution. This kid wants to do this thing, but he'll get possibly bullied. There's a little bit of risk associated with it. So let's just punish the kid for doing the thing at all. That'll cultivate good behaviors in a growing human being. Number 7, finger guns. Schools really don't like guns. You may have guessed. A young boy made finger guns at a teacher and went boom, and he was roundly suspended. He and his parents were told that if he imitates that behavior again, he could face permanent expulsion for finger guns. He's 6 or 7 when the article came out. That's permanent expulsion for finger guns. I'm gonna share a secret with you guys. When I was in 3rd grade, so about the same age as this kid, perhaps a little bit older, I threatened to bring a gun to school because kids were bullying me non-stop and I knew it would get them to f*** off. okay? I got sent to the principal's office. I didn't know what it meant to say that. I just knew it would get these kids away from me. So I go into the principal's office. He said, "Why'd you say that?" And I said, "Because they were bullying me and I wanted to get them to go away." And I had a really good principal. He told my parents. They yelled at me. I didn't get a detention, I don't think. I had to do extra homework or something. And he said, "If you ever say that again, you're going to be in much more serious trouble because people think someone's going to be hurt." And he explained the situation to me. And guess what? Now I don't threaten to bring guns to my school unironically. I still do it frequently, ironically, though. Number 6, a Miami Heat haircut. Again, I agree with this suspension. This kid should be nowhere near functioning society. If he is allowed anywhere near it, it will begin to crumble around him like rock turned to ash. The parents in my eyes are deemed unfit. This is kind of like a daddy of 5 thing. Yeah, sure, kid, you can get your Miami Heat haircut carved into the back of your head. Schools are a joke anyways. If the kid wants to wear Miami Heat haircut, it's really not going to impair him from not learning anything at a public institution anyway. So I don't see the real big issue. All jokes aside, I do think perhaps his parents should have thought a little bit more before letting him get that haircut. But hey, props to them for giving him the ability to make dumb choices. Most parents don't let their kids do that. Your parents do. You're watching this video. Number 5, burping. Yes, you heard me right. A student was suspended for burping. But not just suspended. They were arrested and handcuffed and taken to juvenile detention for burping in class. Now, this shouldn't come as a surprise once I tell you this happened in Albuquerque, New Mexico, because Albuquerque is an backwards place where nothing makes sense. A 13-year-old kid was handcuffed and hauled off to juvenile detention for burping in class. The boy was never charged with anything, thankfully. But apparently the jail staff rated him a 2 out of 10 on dangerous. 10 being the most extreme. 1 is non-dangerous. So somehow burping in class elevates you from not dangerous to dangerous. Maybe he had Ebola, and that's why he was a 2 out of 10. His parents and a lawyer have filed charges against the district. Hopefully they win, sue this district into the ground, and all of these teachers have to kill themselves for how ridiculous this is. Yeah, there's no problem with private prison systems or juvenile detention systems. When you can arrest kids for burping and then keep them in prison for 5 years, that's probably fine. Number 4. An unintentional gang sign. I'm gonna share a secret with you guys. Nobody, even gangsters, uses gang signs. Okay? Nobody does that. You know how gangsters communicate? With words? There are gang signs, of course, and throwing up a gang sign unironically is one of the gayest things you can do, okay? It usually comes from people who think they're thug but are clearly not. That doesn't apply to this 15-year-old because he wasn't even throwing up a gang sign. Look at this picture that he posted that got him in trouble. You think he's throwing up a gang sign wearing a bright pink jersey? Are you kidding me? You think that smile says, "Look at how dangerous I am? Look, this is the gang I'm affiliated with"? Are you serious? Any excuse to suspend and punish these kids, huh? Any excuse whatsoever. You really think this kid is dangerous in this particular photo? How old was the geriatric who thought this kid was throwing up gang signs? 80? 90? A fucking centurion? Jesus Christ. Just die already. Number 3, hugging. I mean, it's pretty common knowledge that almost any displays of affection, platonic or innate or not, are pretty much not allowed at schools because you're not allowed to be happy at school. Take it from 14-year-old Nick Martinez, who hugged a girl of the same age who was his friend. The girl agreed it was a platonic hug, but the school still punished the kid. She wanted the hug, she hugged him back, but they still punished the kid. Because why not? The principal admitted the hug was mutual and innocent, but he still needs to enforce the policy because he's a brain-dead moron who should have killed himself years ago when he returned home from the Gulf War instead of taking on this principal's job. I don't know if I could put that in. It sounds like the principal needs a hug to me. A hug with a fucking katana. Number 2. Holding the door open. Yes, so something that's not even a display of affection, but a simple common human courtesy can get you in trouble. A middle school student was suspended for holding the door open. The school was suspended because he opened an exterior door for a visitor. Students aren't supposed to open the exterior doors because the potential visitor could be a school shooter, especially when that potential visitor has their hands full of books and is struggling just to open the door, and as a teacher, the student recognized they're really a threat to the school. The student should really be punished for opening the door to a teacher they noticed was struggling to carry their books. Ingenious. I'm sure that won't create a risk-adverse student. These schools are so paranoid about school shooters, they don't even allow kids to live their lives. They're already dead. The school shooter wouldn't be killing anyone. He'd be putting corpses above ground, below ground. I think the school was more upset it spent over $100,000 on a set of doors that was defeated by a 9-year-old who wanted to help out a lady. That's what they're really upset. Their supposed anti-school shooter door system was defeated by a 9-year-old who wanted to help. Good work. And number 1, not doing drugs. I can't adequately state just how much irony there is in this one for me. I don't know how it is now, but when I was growing up, DARE was huge. Winners don't do drugs. It was on every arcade cabinet when I was growing up. It was in almost every video game. Professional celebrities were coming out daily and making commercials, don't do drugs, don't do crack. This is your brain on drugs. This is your brain on heroin. Any questions? All of that stuff came out of the public school system and the American public's fear of drug use. And now, because of technicalities and because schools have to enforce a no-tolerance policy, a student was offered Adderall by another student and declined it. But because she was offered Adderall, she has to be punished. Even if she's the one who reported it, even if she's the one who did the right thing and didn't take the drug. It's Adderall, by the way. You should take it. It's gonna make you more efficient at school, but whatever. She refused the drug. She said no to drugs and got punished for it. Great. So there's just no way to win. Tell you right now, don't go to college. If you think this is bad, don't go to college. Biggest mistake. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did like the video, please give it a like down below. And if you want to see more content, please subscribe. What's your favorite thing you've gotten suspended for that was innocuous? Mine is the time I was suspended for disagreeing with my sociology teacher, mostly because she was wrong about everything. I hope you guys are having a great day. Bye-bye.